Hi, Alex Kidman here from Fat Duck Tech, taking a first look at the new HTC Re. The Re is an action camera, so think GoPro or Contour or similar makes. But the Re has a really unique shape, as you can no doubt see. It looks like a tiny periscope or possibly an asthma inhaler, although of course it's neither of those things. Instead, it's a 1080p capable video camera with a 16 megapixel sensor for stills and a 146 degree wide angle lens, the idea being that you capture all of the action while you can't actually see it because there's no screen on this thing. You hook it up to an Android or iOS smartphone to act as a remote screen and also to transfer files on or off it. It's waterproof, it's rated IP57 for dust and water ingress. Haven't been able to actually drop it in any water just yet, so don't know how solid that figure actually is, but HTC reckons that you can dunk it up to 1 metre underwater for 30 minutes. That's what that rating means. So probably not a deep scuba diving camera, but possibly something that you can, splash around with on the beach without too much trouble. All of the storage is via microSD, so you'll need to buy a larger card than the 8GB one they give you unless you only want to shoot for a fairly small amount of time. The devices on show at HTC's New York launch were early release samples. Some didn't have HTC branding and the software is still quite new as well. So I'm going to give it a little bit of leeway for the software being a little bit stuttery here. It certainly looks fairly solid. The camera itself is actually quite fun to hold. And it's a weird thing to say that a camera is fun to hold, but within the action camera space, they all tend to be just little rigid boxes. This is interesting, it's eye-catching, and it does have some applicability within the shape to being comfortable to hold for a reasonable length of time if you had to hold it in place. HTC is going to produce a whole bunch of mounts to go with it because, of course, no one's existing action camera mounts will work with this, or at least not work without a lot of modification. HTC hasn't announced Australian pricing or availability, although in the States it'll cost $199 when it goes on sale later in the month.